All right, folks. I'm sorry. This is late night. You know what? I'm just gonna throw in my 2 cents about Will Smith and Chris Rock. And I'm hearing. I'm so sick of this celebrity junk. I really am. This doesn't make any sense. For the people waking up that may have not seen it yet, I'm sure your phone is blown up. I'm sure whatever social media you have has gone nuts. So you've seen it. Will Smith supposedly slapping Chris Rock for making a joke in front of however many millions of people. Probably it was viewing it live, probably like maybe 40, 50 million people around the world. Now it'd be 1 billion people seeing it, which is fine. And to say that this was not thought out, somebody's basically getting up out of his seat and walking on the stage right into your routine, and you think they're coming over there to shake your hand? No, this is thought out. And you know what? I may be wrong. I'm going to say this up front. I may be wrong. This may have been real, and it may have been an actual thing. But if that is as hard as Will Smith can slap, either one of two things: either Chris Rock has the greatest chin or greatest face in the world, and he has a high pain tolerance, so that was a weak ass slap. And everybody says he slapped the shit out of him. But maybe I should go back and watch the whole Oscars and see what Chris Rock's face looked like after. I have never seen anybody get slapped and not leave a mark like that. Okay? If you got slapped that hard as you were supposedly have gotten slapped, which I don't think it was. I think it was pretend. I personally do. You definitely weren't afraid of the dude. You definitely didn't move when he raised his hand, so I guess you thought he was going to pat you on the shoulder. You didn't take a step back. In fact, the only time you took any kind of step was after the blow. And when Will turned around, you straightened yourself up and put your hands right behind your back like nothing happened. Said, wow, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. Then told him to keep his name out of his wife's name out of his mouth, from his seat. And so all this publicity stunting that I see, around the world, around Hollywood, I'm kind of getting sick of it, man. I'm tired of seeing this stuff. Everybody's got issues. Like this is a real-time reality show. Now, last week it was Kanye and Kim going back and forth about their situation. Getting kind of tired of it, man. It's like, when I first saw it, I said, this can't be real. And because Chris Rock had a smile on his face the whole time. At some point, in my opinion, that this has to slow down. I mean, social media has made the whole planet a fishbowl. Hell, you can't even fight a war without people reporting on it, tweeting on it, showing it in social media, commenting like it's next door, like it's like it's a TV show. Everything's a TV show now. Whether it's Ukraine war, where they're blowing people up for real, whether we got this, and this is all black folks are interested in. Jada and Will, Russell Wilson and Sierra, Steph and Aisha Curry, and on and on and on and on. Like at the bottom, at the core of it, okay, it's fun, it's interesting to kind of make parallels, but at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. These people are millionaires and billionaires. If Will Smith say he did, let's say for instance he did, that was completely serious, that he did walk up on stage and slap Chris Rock. Number one, you did it in front of hundreds of million people. You might as well get your money's worth. If it's indeed real, at least give him a good open hand smack, not slapping with your fingertips. Somebody that means business to slap the shit out of you, it's not going to come from the side. And number two, they're not going to use their fingers. They're going to use the palm. Evidently, Chris Rock wasn't hurt at all. Surprise, but hurt? No, it's a demonstration. At best, even if Chris Rock wasn't in on it, which I think he was because he stood there and took it. He braced himself for the blow. That means he knew it was coming, but you didn't back up. You didn't step to the side. You didn't put your hands out to greet him. Just let him walk up and slap you. Okay. Security didn't grab Will when he went back to his seat. Everybody stood there just like there was nothing going on. That means it was planned. All the security you got inside there, come on. and then nothing happens afterwards? Did anybody interview Chris Rock after the Oscars? They did Will. They did everybody else. Chris Rock, he didn't give a statement. Nothing. Bullshit. I call bullshit. People can think it's real. People can think what they want. And I'm not going to say you're wrong, because guess what? I wasn't there, neither were you. Most people there thought it was a joke, or thought it was part of the routine. You get the shit slapped out of you, and then you go on with your monologue. And then Will sits there to get his award later on. Bygones are bygones. To me, this is planned. To me, this is publicity. To me, this is the stuff I don't like to see, because it takes up too much time. And then you have to do something like I'm doing now, which is comment on it to keep people from talking to you about it. Because if not, I'm going to have 2 weeks where people are asking me to comment on Will Smith and Chris Rock. So I'm commenting on Will Smith and Chris Rock right now. It's not that I don't like them as people. I do. It's not like shit doesn't happen. It does. Thing is, I'm getting tired of hearing about it. Even if it was real, I don't care about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on stage. I don't care. You know why I don't care? You could be 3 seconds away from a nuclear holocaust. What's going on in Ukraine? You got your economy, global economy breaking up into two. You could have a fourth wave of COVID that you didn't expect. You could have runaway inflation as the global economy shuts down because of the war that's going on in Ukraine and the COVID going on in China. Things are going to get higher. Things are going to go up. That's what I care about. I don't care about Will Smith demonstrating his manhood on stage at the Oscars. Don't. Care less. To me, if Will Smith was going to make a statement, he should have punched the guy or slapped him harder. The mere demonstration of embarrassing yourself and embarrassing Chris on stage. You could have got up and walked out. Could have done a bunch of things, except with the things that you did. And, shout out to Artisan. He did, he gave his perspective. He gave his perspective about a man and his wife and protecting his wife's name. Okay? All well and good. Don't want nobody talking about your wife. I'm not even bringing out in public. She shouldn't be in the business. It's something there's a line from The Wire. And my favorite character, obviously, is Omar Little. Because Omar will keep it real. Omar has probably the most classic lines in The Wire, probably of anybody. That's why I like him. His persuasion aside. But one thing he did say that I think applies to this situation, and Jada and Will, right? And Chris. Omar says, I never put my gun on anybody that wasn't in the game. In other words, he didn't put his gun on a 9-to-5 citizen that went to work every day because they wasn't in the game. It wasn't volunteers. And while I understand Will and Jada and the stuff that they're going through and people saying stuff about him, but guess what? They're in the goddamn game. They gave up privacy for money. They gave up privacy for eyeballs. You cheat in public and then apologize about it in public. The stuff that you go through winds up in the tabloids. You're in the game. So you're fair game when somebody says something about it or says something to you. When a comedian is in the Oscars and they throw a joke at you, you might not like the joke, but guess what? You're in the game. You can't accept the privileges and the money and the eyeballs and people interested in your life without accepting the downside. Now, if Jada was the stay-at-home wife that nobody ever saw except for the red carpet events, and she wasn't in the game, she wasn't a celebrity, and she didn't have any hair, then Will Smith would have been justified in walking up and confronting the man about his wife. Why? Because she's not in the game. She's not part of this. She's a citizen. So putting his quote-unquote gun on a citizen would be out of bounds and foul. But your wife is a celebrity. Your wife is an actress. Your wife stays in the public eye. Her haircut, her dress, her alopecia, all that stuff is in the public eye. And you're not, you bring as much drama upon yourself as people bring to you. In fact, you bring more drama to yourself than people will actually bring to you. Because most people aren't really checking for Jada Pinkett Smith about anything. She's got to do extraordinary things to bring relevance to herself. So if you cared anything about your wife and your wife's reputation, should have been checked this. Should have been shut her down. If indeed this was real, which I don't think it was. I think it was planned. I think you doing this for clout. I think you're doing this for publicity. I really do. Because this is Hollywood, the land of smoke and mirrors. You never know what the real deal is until they get into court. When they get into court, then you find out what the real details were. Like I said, I don't have any animosity against these people because really, for all intents and purposes, I really don't really care too much about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. I think Will should have let her go years ago because I said I think Jada Pinkett wants out of that marriage. Let her out. I don't think she's happy. Let her out. You don't like being a target? Don't be public. Give up the money. Give up the eyeballs. Like hell, we don't even know what Will Smith's father looked like. Have no clue. Very, very few people actually do. They don't talk about them. They don't talk about his father or his mother because they're not in the game. Everybody wants to collect all the rewards, all the money, all the fame, all the eyeballs with no downside. Doesn't work that way. Nowhere in the world does it work that way. You bring people into your personal life, not vice versa. There's actors and actresses in Hollywood that don't garner this kind of attention because they don't look for those kind of eyeballs. They do the work. That's where they get their money from. They're not trying to bring people into their personal life. Jada brought this stuff as much on herself as anybody else. And if this is what you get mad at, guess what? You're going to have some people that think he's a man by slapping the shit out of somebody half your size on stage in front of cameras. I'd have more respect for you if you got access to backstage. I'd have had more respect for you if you beat the shit out of him backstage. Square off backstage. That's why I don't believe it. Because that's normally when it happens. 9 times out of 10, you got a beef with somebody says something that you don't like. They have breaks, they go backstage, you can easily go backstage. You can easily square off and start a fight. Well, I don't believe it. I think it was staged. I think it was planned. I think that was the effect, and I think the Oscars went along with it. I really do. Was the crowd shocked? I'm sure they were because they weren't in on it. I had a feeling that they weren't in on this. There's 3 things that tell me that this shit was fake. 1, it was one joke. 2, you were laughing at the joke before. 3, you come walking up on stage after the joke. 4, Chris Rock did not retreat or try to protect himself. 5, poor ass slap. Didn't hurt a guy didn't hurt his face, he didn't try to protect himself, nothing. Saw it coming. Stood there and took it, and then continued his routine. In fact, the Oscars continued. Because Will Smith should have been escorted from the building. That's why you know it's staged. Should have been escorted from the building. Where we live in this culture where we expect to see street fights in high-class events. That's the only way we can get attention now. That's how far the society is broken down. And we actually want this because bullshit sells. Like I said, we have on the other side of the world, United States and Russia and China contesting for control of the globe. They're going to make your gas prices go sky high, going to make your food prices go sky high. It could do something to your financial system. If not, if somebody itches the wrong way or makes a mistake militarily, a stray bomb goes off someplace it shouldn't, you could be looking at the brink of nuclear war within days. Okay, end of your existence within days. And we worried about goddamn Will Smith and Jada Pinkett and Chris Rock over one little joke that lasted all of 5 seconds. And that's going to dominate the headlines all of tomorrow, which is going to have little to no effect on your life. And that's what we think about. That's what goes on in social media. I can't even say the space because it's all over. And the only reason that I'm making this video about it is because I want to address it, because I know I don't want to be hearing about this for a month. Be just, what do you think? You know what I think. It's bullshit. It's fake. It's a fake. And I wouldn't be shocked if Chris Rock and Will Smith would be doing a project together next year. Wouldn't. I'd be shocked. But you could have, as a man, beat the shit out of him behind closed doors. Could have went backstage and got him. Could wait till you went to the party and got him. You decided to take the man's manhood in front of 100 million people in a controlled environment, and you're twice the guy's size. Really? Sometimes, you know what? I just want to sit on the beach and read my books and leave this world alone. Because as much as you try to bail the water out of the boat, even though there's holes, trying to bail water out so that this boat can float, it keeps filling up faster than you can actually bail on it. It's not at just this level, which is the working class level. It's at all levels. Because the United States is going to hell in a handbasket. And the basket's got holes in it. And so whatever they put in front of you, you have a visceral emotional reaction to it. And I'm saying, even if it's real, what does it say about our culture? When the best of us sink this low, when the best of us put our bullshit into the streets for everybody to see, and we put these people on the pedestal, and you think as a moral center, as a moral fiber, that this kind of stuff gets attention and praise from all over, then maybe America's days has passed. And maybe just like the black community, it probably needs to go into the dustbin of history. Because America and everybody's life in America on social media has been reduced to a fucking reality show. And not even a good one. Dude, if you're gonna do this in front of 100 million people, knock the dude on his ass. You're gonna throw the real punch. If you're gonna do something, do something. If you're gonna slap him to the point where he can feel it. If you're gonna commit to it, I remember my sub of mine, Ash. Shout out to Ash, love her to death. Talked about one of her ex-boyfriends before she got married to Trigger. You know, lovely couple, her and Trigger, and that little baby is just as adorable. But she was actually going with a dude that she probably shouldn't have been going with. And Ash is only about 5'2", 5'3", a little bitty cute thing, right? And she's pissed off at her cheating ass boyfriend. And so she confronted him, and her little ass, and this dude is big, probably about 6'2". Ash is a foot shorter. And she punched her boyfriend in the face, and rightfully so, she got her ass whipped, okay? Here's what it is. So I said, Ash, she's bigger than you, and you're pissed. I said, why did you hit him, okay? She said, I was already committed to the punch. If you're gonna go up there, you're gonna stalk up there over a little bitty joke and make a scene in front of 100 million people, commit to the punch. Go ahead and lay the dude out on his ass. That are the weak sauce that you put up as a demonstration. Chris Rock barely broke stride. He ain't put his hands up to his face. Commit to the punch. And then I would be telling my wife, if I did all that shit, embarrass myself in front of worldwide, not national, but worldwide TV, bitch, get yourself straight. Because I committed to this action, so guess what? You are too. Stop playing around with this so-called reality TV show that you're in with all these fun and games. You're too fucking old for that. She's too old for that. Make a decision. I can say one thing about Jason Momoa and his wife, okay, his ex-wife. They're adults about it. She's in her 50s, he's in her 40s. All that shit happened behind closed doors. Could he have been seeing somebody? Maybe. Could she have busted him out and made it public? She could have. She didn't. That's class. Regardless of what you say about him, that's class. Lisa Bonet has class. Whatever went on in their marriage, that's in their marriage. She's public, he's public. Jason Momoa is probably as big a star as Will Smith is right now. They're both public. They handle their marriage. They handle it with class. That's the way it's supposed to be done. But we like this messy shit. We like it on Twitter. We like it on YouTube. We like it in politics. We like it in our lives. That's who we are now, especially as black people. And I, for one, is kind of sick of it. It's normalized to be fucking messy. It's normalized to be petty and have petty beefs. And just like it's normalized for an A-list celebrity over a tiny joke. It wasn't like he was roasting Jada Pinkett Smith on national TV to the point of tears. One joke. and you strode up there and you embarrass yourself and him on national TV, on international TV. And that's going to be out there forever, which is why I don't believe it was real, because you want attention. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, let me put this down before I actually kick it off into a rant about this society, this culture, and black culture in particular. We usually have more class than this. But I guess you give black people freedom and privilege. This is what they do to it and do with it. Anyhow, with that, I'm going to jump off here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.